What if everything you thought you knew about life on Earth was wrong? What if the very foundations of complex existence were different? We're about to rewind a tape of evolution to a pivotal moment, asking one mind-bending question. What if vertebrates never evolved? Prepare to discover a planet teeming with utterly alien anatomies and ecosystems beyond your wildest imagination, where intelligence might have taken forms we can barely conceive. You wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. None of us with a spine would exist on the Earth we're about to visit. Join us here on Animal Lover Planet as we strip away the most fundamental building block of complex life, the vertebrate, and rebuild evolution from scratch. Witness a planet where entirely new biological rules apply, creating a future that is simultaneously beautiful, terrifying, and utterly foreign. For us, the backbone is fundamental. It's the scaffold that supports our bodies, protects our nervous system, and anchors the powerful muscles that allow us to move with such incredible dexterity. From the smallest shrew to the largest blue whale, from the swift falcon to the ponderous elephant, vertebrates dominate our perception of advanced life. Their internal skeletons of bone or cartilage have allowed for incredible diversity, immense size, and the evolution of complex, centralized nervous systems. But what if this didn't happen? What if, at a critical juncture in Earth's deep past, the evolutionary dice rolled differently? Imagine a world where the very concept of an internal bony skeleton, a cranium protecting a centralized brain, or even a jaw, simply never emerged. To understand this alternate reality, we need to pinpoint the moment our timeline diverged. We're talking about the Cambrian Explosion, roughly 540 million years ago. This was a period of astonishing biological innovation when most major animal phyla suddenly appeared in the fossil record. Among them were the early chordates, creatures with a notochord, a flexible rod that would eventually evolve into the vertebrate spine. But what if that initial chordate lineage fizzled out? What if it never gained a foothold, never diversified, never led to fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, or mammals? What kind of planet would we find if we deleted the entire vertebrate branch from the tree of life? What kinds of creatures would fill the ecological niches we take for granted? And how would life itself, in all its forms, adapt and thrive without a single spine in sight? The answers might just redefine your understanding of possibility. Without vertebrates, the stage is set for an entirely different cast of characters. The winners, the dominant forms of life, would be those phyla that today exist alongside us but often in our shadow. We're talking about the arthropods, insects, spiders, crustaceans, the mollusks, snails, slugs, octopuses, squids, and the echinoderms, starfish, sea urchins, sea cucumbers. Imagine their forms scaled up, hyper-specialized, taking on roles we can barely fathom. Instead of grazing herds of antelope, perhaps vast swarms of colossal armored beetle-like creatures stripping nutrients from colossal plant analogs. In the oceans, imagine not whales, but leviathan squid, their tentacles miles long, or immense armored crustaceans truly kings of the deep. But how would such immense creatures support themselves without a backbone? Our vertebrate reality relies on internal bone. In this alternate Earth, evolution would have to get creative. We'd likely see the ascendance of hydrostatic skeletons, muscles acting against fluid-filled chambers, allowing for incredible flexibility and power as seen in earthworms or octopuses today, but on a grander scale. Think of colossal segmented worms, their bodies rippling with immense strength, burrowing through the earth or undulating through ancient seas. Or perhaps external chitinous armor, like that of insects and crabs, would evolve to unprecedented thickness and strength, supporting gargantuan land-dwelling forms. Imagine creatures resembling mobile fortresses, their multi-jointed legs scuttling across landscapes, their segmented bodies forming impenetrable barriers. What about entirely new yet undiscovered biological supports? Could organisms evolve mineralized internal structures completely distinct from bone, perhaps crystalline arrays or silicate frameworks? The possibilities are endless when you remove such a fundamental constraint. And locomotion? Picture colossal snails gliding across vast, damp plains, leaving shimmering trails, or multi-limbed creatures with dozens of legs, each joint articulating independently, allowing for incredible agility despite their size. The very way life moves, hunts, and escapes would be radically different. How would these alien anatomies interact with their environment? And what kind of ecosystems would arise when the spine is no biological option? The answer reshapes the entire planet. In our world, Apex predators are almost exclusively vertebrates: lions, sharks, eagles. Remove them, and the entire food web collapses and then rebuilds itself in spectacular fashion. Who fills the void? We might see colossal arthropods acting as the dominant predators on land, ambushing prey with lightning-fast chitinous claws. In the oceans, immense cephalopods, perhaps with beaks as hard as diamond and powerful suckers, would reign supreme. And filter feeders? Imagine entire reefs built by giant tube worms, or vast swarms of enormous jelly-like organisms sifting nutrients from the water. The biomes themselves would be drastically different. Would forests still stand tall? Perhaps, but the dominant vegetation might be radically altered to accommodate colossal herbivorous invertebrates. We might see gigantic fungal cities, their mycelial networks forming vast subterranean structures and their fruiting bodies reaching towering heights, providing shelter and sustenance. Or massive invertebrate mounds, constructed by highly social insect analogs, dominating the landscape like living mountains. Consider the energy flow. Without the high metabolic rates often associated with warm-blooded vertebrates, nutrient cycling and resource distribution would likely shift. Perhaps entire ecosystems would operate at a slower pace, or rely on entirely different biochemical pathways for energy. We might find oceans dominated by chemotrophic life, or landmasses where sunlight is harnessed by bizarre photosynthetic organisms unlike anything we've ever encountered. And what about the decomposition? Without worms, beetles, and countless other vertebrate and invertebrate scavengers that we know, who cleans up the planet? Perhaps vast colonies of specialized fungi and bacteria, or immense, slow-moving detritivores that consume entire fallen organisms over decades. The very processes of life and death, of growth and decay, would be utterly alien. But here's the most mind-bending question. Could such a world, ruled by utterly different anatomies and ecologies, ever give rise to something truly complex? Could intelligence itself emerge in a form we can barely comprehend? For us, complex intelligence is inextricably linked to the vertebrate brain, a centralized processing unit, protected by a skull capable of abstract thought, language, and culture. But is that the only path? This is where our speculative journey truly delves into the profound. Could complex intelligence arise without a vertebrate brain? Consider the octopus, a mollusk. Its intelligence is remarkable, capable of camouflage, problem-solving, and even tool use. And crucially, much of its neural processing is distributed throughout its tentacles. What if this distributed intelligence, or cephalopod-like neural networks, evolved to an even higher degree? Imagine a creature where each limb, each segment, possesses a degree of autonomy, contributing to a collective decentralized consciousness. Or what about hive minds? Vast colonies of interconnected organisms sharing a single emergent intelligence. Think of ant colonies or beehives, but scaled up to planetary proportions, with individual organisms acting as neurons in a colossal living brain. The very concept of self would be radically different. How would these alien societies communicate? Without vocal cords or complex facial expressions, language as we know it would be impossible. Perhaps bioluminescence, intricate patterns of light used to convey complex ideas. Or pheromone trails, a chemical language far more sophisticated than anything we can imagine, weaving stories and instructions into the very air or water. Vibrational signals, tapping, drumming, or seismic communication might also form the basis of their interactions, creating a symphony of information passing through their world. And what about tools and civilization? What would architecture, technology, and art look like in a world built by non-vertebrate minds? Perhaps immense, living structures grown from specialized organisms, or intricate carvings etched into the landscape using biological acids. Their technology might be biomechanical, organic computers, or advanced genetic engineering rather than the metal and silicon we are familiar with. Would they develop philosophy, mathematics, or explore the stars? It's almost impossible for us to truly conceive, precisely because their way of experiencing reality would be so fundamentally different. Their art might be transient chemical sculptures, their music a symphony of vibrations, their history encoded in the very genetic material of their living cities. The possibilities are truly mind-bending, challenging our very definition of what it means to be intelligent. What would their grand questions be? And what would their vision of the universe look like? This journey through an Earth without vertebrates fundamentally alters our perspective. It underscores just how contingent our own existence is. Without that specific evolutionary lineage, without that internal skeleton and centralized brain, humanity, and indeed all the familiar animals of our world, would simply not exist. It's a humbling thought, reminding us that life's path is not predetermined, but a meandering river of countless possibilities. This kind of speculative biology isn't just a fun thought experiment, it's a powerful tool for astrobiology. When we search for life on other planets, our imaginations are often limited by what we know, life on Earth. We tend to look for water, for carbon-based organisms, and often, for creatures that bear a passing resemblance to our own. But by stripping away the familiar, by imagining an Earth where life took an entirely different turn, we expand our capacity to envision truly alien life. We learn to break free from our Earth-centric biases, to truly open our minds to the incredible, diverse forms that life might take across the cosmos. Perhaps on a distant exoplanet, there are intelligent beings composed of silicate, or vast fungal networks communicating across continents, or crystalline entities manipulating their environment with electromagnetic fields. Our journey today helps us prepare for those astonishing possibilities. So, what other bizarre evolutions can you envision? If the vertebrates never evolved, what creatures would dominate your alternate Earth? What forms would intelligence take? The beauty of science and imagination intertwines here, allowing us to explore the endless what-ifs of our universe. Let us know your wildest ideas in the comments section below. Your thoughts, your theories, your incredible alien designs, we want to hear them all. Let us know your wildest ideas in the comments section below. Your thoughts, your theories, your incredible alien designs, we want to hear them all. If you've enjoyed this mind-expanding journey into a world without spines, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to Animal Lover Planet for more deep dives into the wonders of life, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Until then, keep looking at the world with curiosity. And remember, the possibilities of life are far stranger and far more beautiful than we can ever truly imagine.